technology in your firm. How do you use technology within your firm, and how do you think the evolution of technology within our space has impacted the way that people run firms? I mean, 27 years ago, when you started out in this space, I'm sure you didn't imagine having the options of technology that you have today. And so I'm interested, how do you use it, one? And then two, how has it changed the way that you impact people's lives like you do?
Well, I think technology, I love technology, by the way. I'm a sucker for technology. Well, I think of two things right off the bat. Is one, obviously, the podcast technology for me to reach the world and create people and really good friends all over the world is amazing. I mean, think of my demographic. If I'm talking to people over 50, my market is not, Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I have clients in 26 different states. That's amazing technology-wise. How do you do that in 1990? Zoom meetings, I use Zoom as my platform to have almost all of my meetings are virtual. They're on a video call where we're sharing screens. That allows some FaceTime and efficient in sharing screens and cash flow reports and whatever, and creates that at least visual connection without actually having to be there. I mean, that's a revolution. I couldn't do the kind of business I do otherwise. I mean, you could go on and on. I think the struggle with technology is just connecting it all together. It's the management of all the different tools. We just went through a process of creating a tech deck of what do we use for different things. And it always seems like it's more stuff than you should have to use for certain things.
Right.
Which is difficult. But ultimately, there's not one thing that does everything well enough. So you end up having to have. But you can get an ungodly list very easily because there's so many cool little tech tools out there.
Right. Yeah, it's a matter of, you have to have, we always talk about this on this show, and then, when we have outside conversations, you have to have a reason for the technology, right? I mean, what is the technology solving for you? What are your processes first? Let's identify what our processes are, as opposed to having them in our head. What are the actual processes?
That's not an easy thing.
Not at all. I mean,
we're going through that right now, and that's not an easy thing.
I mean, a lot of us are not what we're good at is we're good at building relationships, connecting with individuals, helping them see, but I mean, we're not process oriented. We're not going to sit down and create a processes and procedures manual of all of our processes. That's not necessarily all of our forte. So you have to know that, and then you have to know how are you going to execute on those processes with your current technology, and then any new technology that you bring, where are you going to fit that in, and what are you going to remove, and how is it going to be? What is the return on that, right? It's not necessarily a monetary return. What's the time return, right? What does that get me back in time or allow me to impact in people's lives, right? You have to go through that flow, or just adding technology is not going to do any value to you.